Hail to the king, baby.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Sunday. You know what that means. Well, you actually don't know what that means, but if you can't tell, this is the second Sunday in a row now that I've done Chill and Chat on a Sunday. I really hope you guys can hear me. I'm going to have to double check because this wouldn't be the first time I've actually gone in and haven't had my mic on, but I wanted to make sure it did. One thing I've learned from today's activities, if you want to break some news, it's best just to make a video instead of posting your live stream 2.5 hours early and then watching everybody else make content on it. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in because we've got some exciting stuff to talk about. If you've been watching other YouTube channels, I know 19K Fox did a short on it. Me and him got this news a couple of days ago, and we were doing some research, and we decided to talk about it today. I know some other people picked it up from 19K Fox, and other people picked it up secondhand from the people who picked it up from 19K Fox. But I'm excited to talk about it. We've got some fun news here. As basic fun, you might remember a while back, I did a video on a rumor that they were at another convention showing off an Atari Centipede cab. Well, it looks like that rumor is true, and not just that, but they've got a lot more in store for us. Also, a little later tonight, we're going to talk about the other home arcade products that were announced so far for 2025. You know, the Media 1-Up, Iconic Arcade Cabinet, Glenn's Buildicade FU, as well as Wonderland Pinball. And we're going to talk about whether or not those cabinets are in jeopardy of even happening. Kevin Clausen, the man of the hour. Heck yeah, let's just hope they are arcade accurate. $2 super chat. Thank you very much, Kevin Clausen. And Kevin Clausen is the big reason that we are here tonight. So Kevin Clausen reached out to me, I think it was on Friday, and sent me just an article, screenshot of something he saw on, I guess it was Facebook or it was, I don't know, Twitter or something like that. Let me just share my screen and I'll show you where all this came from in the first place. So Kevin Clausen was kind enough to send this over to me. And this really started the conversation. So Kevin sent this up from Chris Borres. Now, if you're a longtime YouTube watcher, you may remember Chris Borres as the Irate Gamer. Now, he was a takeoff of the Angry Video Game Nerd, or you could say he was a direct rip-off copy. I don't know. People are back and forth on this, but I remember watching some of his stuff back when I first started watching YouTube and doing YouTube myself. Now, I don't know if he's kept up with those videos. I know a little while ago, him and the Angry Video Game Nerd did like a collaboration video, but I haven't really been following his content. Anyways, Kevin Clausen sent this information to me because Chris Borres was at the New York Toy Fair. And there's been tons of really fun, exciting news that I'm interested in coming out of the Toy Fair. Like we found out about the mask revision toys coming out from the loyal subjects. I'm a G.I. Joe collector, so we found out new information about G.I. Joe Classifieds, and I'm a big TMNT fan as well. So we've got new figures and vehicles coming out in the classic line from them as well. So I'm pretty excited. Anyways, Kevin sent this. Chris was there, and he went by the Basic Fun booth. Now, Basic Fun, they're a toy company. They've been making all kinds of shit like Light Bright and some of the phones and stuff you see like in the Toy Story movies for years, but they've also dabbled in home arcades in the past, which we'll get into. So he posted this, and then he turned me on to this live stream, or not live stream, podcast called Geek Time that the Irate Gamer is doing from Toy Fair. And if you scroll down in the actual timestamps, he actually has a timestamp here at 1:13:27. Basic Fun new arcade cabinet. And he has an interview with the rep. Now, I'm not going to play that because that would be in bad form. What I suggest everybody here to do, I've actually put a link to this video down in the description of my video. What I would appreciate is whenever you cover this stuff, it's important to kind of cite your sources. And if you're going to talk about news someone else broke, you're going to, pass a link on so people can go check out his original video. I'll give you my jot notes, but please, I insist you go watch his interview. Now, I'm going to be a little hard on Cornercade here because I did tune in. Cornercade did do a video on this already. However, what he did is something that I think is a bit of a faux pas for YouTube. I'm just going to take this down for a second. And I just want to talk about this. So I'm not going to try to be too mean because I think he just didn't understand this. But when you're covering content from other people, it's very important not to show their content in its entirety on your video and do like a live reaction. I know people do it. It's a big thing, but it's really in bad form. It's bad YouTube etiquette. So I would encourage people before you even contemplate watching the Cornercade's video where he does play this interview in its entirety, please go check out Chris Boris's original video. He's the one who deserves the views for that. Then go check out Danny's opinions afterwards. That's totally fine. But in future, if anybody else here is a YouTuber, don't do that. Don't do live reaction videos where you share somebody else's content. At least watch the video, understand it, and then form an opinion and make your own video and cite your source. So that would be the best way to do it. I'm sorry for being a little political here. Not trying to create any drama. I'm sure he just didn't know the difference, but I do want to state that. Yeah, Gamer Fridge, you can do whatever you want, man, but in my opinion, bad taste, bad form. So anyways, back to this video. It's actually super interesting. Now, I had heard rumors that, of course, they were going to be coming on hard. When Chris Boris did this video, he actually had a rep, and he got to talk to him. So they confirmed that not only is the Basic Fun line still coming, but guys, get ready for this. They're launching fall 2025. So this isn't something that's way off in the distance. They are coming out with cabinets coming this fall. And what's exciting is the licenses that they have. So let's talk about that really quickly. I know coming in hard. I know my accent, blah, blah, blah. I get it. Hold on there now. I'll see if I can bring up the last document I was working on. My computer crashed before I went to the stream. So they indicated that right now they're coming out with 4 different lines of cabinets. We've got a countercade line to compete with Arcade 1-Up's countercade line. They've got a junior line like a babycade, and they've also got a slimcade. For some reason, and people with terrible taste want these slim cabinets because they don't have as much room. So they are bringing out slimcades. Ugh. They've also got an ultra line, which is going to be basically the equivalent of an Arcade 1-Up Deluxe cab. The big difference with that is that's going to have a light up marquee and grill covers for the speakers. And then they've got a Supreme cab, which is going to be, which we're hoping is the extent of an XL with a 19-inch screen. But again, there's very little information right now to go on. That one is going to be regular retail $800, but it's only going to be sold at the club level. So think about the Arcade 1-Up XL cabs as they are right now. So it's going to be sold at a price point of $599, same as the XL cabs at Costco for Arcade 1-Up. Those are your 5 cabinet lines. A lot of people are saying 4, but there's actually 5 different cabinet lines. So then we get into the titles, and this is where this gets really interesting. So they're coming up with Atari, which we knew about already from Centipede, Fun fact about the Atari cab is it's going to have 2,600 games on it as well. So think about the like Atari 50th anniversary. For those people that do like the inclusion of the 2,600 games, those will be there for you as well. Stringer Films, that's not accurate. I don't watch porn on this computer. I have a completely separate computer for porn. Come on, man. Thanks for the super chat. Anyways, on top of that, they've also got, and this is what caught my attention, Star Wars and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So there are 3 huge licenses from Arcade 1-Up that now Basic Fun are going to be making cabs on. During the interview with Mr. Boris, the Irate Gamer, they talked a little bit about the Star Wars cab, so we know what the art package is going to be, which is something we've never really received before, which is Return of the Jedi. Now, I encourage all of you to go look up Return of the Jedi. It's not a pretty arcade in a standard form factor, so I don't know how the arcade will look, if they're going to try to replicate the original arcade, or if they're just going to try to do an art package for Return of the Jedi. It'll be interesting to see how they do that. Sorry, guys, I got coughs all of a sudden. Then Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles was really interesting, and this is where it gets super interesting. So they're doing Ninja Turtles, again, another license that Arcade 1-Up previously had. They mentioned in the Supreme and Ultra tiers, they're going to be 4-player, and they mentioned those would have light-up marquees. But they also mentioned the games list. So it sounds like we're getting the original 2 arcade games, plus the Cowabunga collection, all the console games. But then they said something that broke a lot of our hearts with Arcade 1-Up and Konami cabs, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cabs. We always said, what a great opportunity to include other amazing Konami beat-em-ups. And from what the rep explained, it sounds like we're going to get that. So there's a possibility we could get a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cab with other appropriate beat-em-ups. Maybe Sunset Riders, maybe Cowboys of Moo Mesa. Maybe that's hoping too much, but Violent Storm, other great Konami beat-em-up games are going to be included. So yeah, Midlife Arcade, bigger than expected. That's what my wife said. At least that's what I pretend she said. But they actually dropped even more news than that, and probably the most damning and concerning title that they announced, especially considering this is a competition for Arcade 1-Up 100%. They also got the Pac-Man license. Think about that. Arcade 1-Up, the house that Pac-Man built, now is going to have competition with another company making Pac-Man cabs. So that's super interesting too. I mean, the more I read into this, it's not looking good for Arcade 1-Up. But then they absolutely brought out the coupe, the piece de resistance, and the ultimate announcement, because everything we've talked about so far has all been rehashes and shit we've seen before. So you're like, big deal, another company's making arcade cabinets. Well, no one, and I mean no one, has made this cabinet, and I have made countless videos on maybe why they shouldn't, but Basic Fun has announced, well, through this podcast, they're making a WrestleFest cab. And I don't mean just like Superstars of Wrestling. We haven't seen it yet, so we can't confirm. But from the conversation that Chris Boris had with the dev, it sounds like they actually have WrestleFest. The marquee on the title is WrestleFest. He said it's got the original art. That's something to be really freaking excited about. I'm sure a lot of people here that are keen viewers might have noticed that an announcement went out a couple weeks ago about Demolition signing, what's it called? Signing contracts for merchandise with WWE, and it's like Legends contracts. So that was one of the big stumbling blocks in the past. Tag teams like the Legion of Doom and Demolition wouldn't be in the game because they had, beef with WWE that goes back years and years ago. There were problems there. I have the Pac-Man license. It's available at Walmart. Thanks, Stringer Films. I appreciate it. And like Jason said, apparently it's the whole series. Now, I do want to be very careful here. They said all the right words. A lot of people get this confused. WrestleFest is a Technos property. It's owned by Arc System Works, the same people that own Double Dragon. So they license it directly from Arc System Works. I'm sure they also had to work with WWE. One caveat of that is people that are expecting WrestleMania, the arcade game, to be on it. That's a midway game. So that's still an unknown if they can do that. But if you look at the Technos wrestling game library, there's a plethora of Technos wrestling games. In fact, I do believe a load of them were on the iArcade. So if you have an iArcade, go back and look through most of those wrestling games that were on it. They're all Technos games, which they can be on it as well. And then there's also the possibility that, I don't know, maybe they could get some of the LJN Super Nintendo games. Who knows what's going to be on it? But the important thing is WrestleFest is coming. Now, hopefully they do it justice. It's the original game, original ROM, original playable characters. Hopefully it has online. We'll have to wait and see for more information from that. But that's the huge news that came from Basic Fun today. So we've got a lineup coming out in fall 2025 of Pac-Man, Ninja Turtles, Atari, which we assume is Centipede, with 2,600 games as well, Atari Star Wars, Return of the Jedi Art, and WrestleFest. That's 5 games out of the hop, one really special game. So yeah, that's exciting fucking news. So pumped, feel like throwing $2 bills around. Yeah, is Home Arcade back? You're goddamn right it's back. Yeah, Jason knows. WWF Superstars, Tag Team Wrestling, Matt Mania. There's a plethora of Technos wrestling games, guys. So lots to be excited about. B. Kirby, the Chicago arcade guy. This is truly Arcade 1-Up's replacement. They're toast with Basic Fun having all these titles. Basic Fun was able to watch all the mistakes Arcade 1-Up made. So we got a little bit more news to cover from the podcast. And again, guys, sorry about the coughing. I don't know what's going on. It just hit me all of a sudden. But I do want to bring up some other points from that. But before I do, I want to bring up some more points on Basic Fun. So, a lot of us have been trying to spend the weekend scouring, looking for anybody that, like, I've watched so many Toy Fair videos, seeing if anybody was able to look at these. There's no pictures, no information everywhere. So all we're going on right now is an audio podcast. So it's a little rough. We don't know the quality of these. We don't know how they look. So time will tell. From what I'm told, pictures are coming soon. So we'll have to see. Anyways, what I do want to share, if you're not familiar, is Basic Fun. Here's their Instagram page. You can see like the kind of toys they're making, like My Little Pony. I know Nostalgia's excited. He says he has inside news. 1 second. I forgot to do this. Thank you very much for the super chat. B. Kirby, the Chicago arcade guy. Greatly appreciated. Oh, yeah. Dr. Torque. It's been a combination of allergies, sinus infection, and a cold I had a couple weeks ago. I don't know what to say. So anyways, going back to Basic Fun, they make like Tonka trucks. This is why they were at Toy Fair. Tonka trucks, Care Bears, all kinds of shit like that. Micro beanies. So this is the kind of company they are, but that isn't the only products they ever made. They have previously made arcades. However, this is where I'm going to tell you guys to be cautious. This is where I'm going to tell you to be cautious because the stuff they made in the past was absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. A couple of bucks for the COVID test fund. Thank you very much, Porta Dream. Greatly appreciated. Nice, Doug. And the clap. Don't forget the clap. Well, that's not something I really wanted to talk about publicly, Pitbull, but thank you. So, I mean, I will tell you half my dislike for my arcade back in the day came from mistaking them with Basic Fun's original cabinets. These things were junk and made me hate like plastic arcades. So you can see what they've got here. The quality is super poor. I remember seeing the Mortal Kombat one, and it was a disgrace in every single way, I will tell you. So anyways, that's Basic Fun. Hopefully when we get pictures of these are better. From, everything said, Chris Boris said, it sounds like they're going to be. So I did just want to bring that up and give you a little bit of history on Basic Fun and their arcade efforts in the past. So anyways, guys, back to my notes. So you're probably wondering about price points, and I got to tell you, the price points are definitely competitive with Arcade 1-Up. So for the 5 brands, might have already told you this. Countercades are coming in at $180. They're going to do child or junior baby cades coming in at $250. There's slim cabinet design, which is 8 inches less than your typical 3/4 scale at-home arcade. That's coming in at $450. So that's another thing I like here. They're making a slim cade, but they're saying it costs less material. We're going to charge you less. So that's $450. I would assume that's a party cade on a stand. So basically a casino cade. Then you've got the Ultra, which is your deluxe version, $500. And I think I talked about it already. The Supreme, or what we're thinking is the XL, that's going to be at the club level at $599. Regular retail will be $800. So that's going to have all the features of the Ultra, the light up marquee, and but that's also the speaker grills. That's also going to have a coin door. So very, very cool announcement from these guys. Like I mentioned, the titles are coming out fall 2025, but they also talked about the future. So it looks like we're getting these 5 titles: Pac-Man, Ninja Turtles, Centipede, Star Wars, and WrestleFest coming up fall 2025. They've already announced they've got 26 and 27 plans where they're going to be highlighting shooting games and racing games. So they're going to be following the Arcade 1-Up footprint. They're going to be making racing games and shooting games. Hopefully those fare a little better than Arcade 1-Up's efforts. I love Terminator, but got to tell you, the gun games, they're not really there yet. I've never ever played Time Crisis. Some people really like Time Crisis, so maybe it's better than that. The driving cabs, I will always say this, they're too tall to sit down at, and they're too short to stand at. So it'd be nice if they found some way to make a compromise to make the cab right. That's what I'd love to know. Someone had to have snuck some pictures, something. Now, here's the other bit of good news. They're saying these are going to be available at all major retailers, so you're going to be able to pick them up on Amazon. Of course, they already mentioned the club stores, so more than likely that's going to be Costco. And then you got a question: does that impact Arcade 1-Up's future deal with Costco going forward? It's going to be available at Walmart, and words to my ear, worldwide distribution. So no longer is Canada getting fucked in the ass. No more. Canada is back in the game.
I'm going to Canada now.
I don't think so.
So, guys, that's the big piece of news. Once again, I encourage you. I know there's lots of other footage out there, but the person who deserves credit, obviously, for telling me about this is Kevin Clausen. But if you want the full scoop and you want to hear the rep talk directly and not just my jot notes, please go check out the Irate Gamer, Chris Boreas's YouTube page. Again, I've got a link down in the description below. He's the guy who had the interview. He's the one who deserves all the views. Go check that out before you check out anybody else's content on it, please. That would be a big favor to me. So anyways, guys, that's the big news on Basic Fun. I'm excited. I've got to tell you, I mean, this is good news. At the end of the day, no one really cares what the name is on the cabinet. The truth of the matter is, we just want cool shit. And it's been 2 years now, 2 friggin' years, since anybody in this community has even considered doing a new IP. So honestly, WrestleFest, anybody complaining about new IPs, rehashes, re-releases, we have WrestleFest. Thank you very much, 19K Fox. Greatly appreciated. That's where everybody should go. And I encourage you to listen to the original interview in its entirety. I know, I couldn't either, Zero Redux. I was looking all over for it, but it was there. I don't know what to say. There it is. Yeah, that's the same thing I've been hearing. Basic Fun was at Toy Fair, but like if you watch Pixel Dan's coverage, there was a couple places that were behind closed doors and they weren't letting people film for some reason. You ain't kidding. Timestamp is 113, and like I said, if you go into the description of the video, the timestamps are there as well. So Guys, go check it out. Basic fun. Again, like I was saying, we don't care what the name is. We just care that cool stuff is coming out. And it's so funny because I look at this and I do want to bring this up again. So I'm going to take that down. I was looking for basically footage for this video for the thumbnail, different molds from Arcade 1-Up's past. And if you go to Arcade 1-Up's website there now, they still obviously got the Pac-Man license up, but look up Star Wars. No products found. Nothing. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You got a stool that's sold out, and that's it. Like, they're gone. They're erased from history, basically, on the Arcade 1-Up page. I don't know if this means that there's no titles left out there. Oh, you DM'd me a pic. Please be of your feet or your shaved head. I can't wait to see this. Hold on. I got to see what it is first. Thank you very much, P-Dubs. You are a good man. So there it is there, guys. Basic fun. You can see their booth at Toy Fair for anybody who wants to say they're not there. There it is. I know P-Dubs has spent the last couple of hours tonight trying to go through this and find all their footage. Competition is good. May 1-Up rethink things, up their quality licenses, or fall off completely for something better. Better news. Me personally, I agree with you, and thank you very much for the super chat. Gallagher Guy 88. You're a good man. So the important thing to note here is, why is Basic Fun doing this? You may question that. Well, don't ever forget Arcade 1-Up's self-posturing about how they took an idea, a concept, and made themselves the 4th largest company in gaming, which is their own quote. So even though Arcade 1-Up has made some mistakes, Arcade 1-Up released a press release saying they were having cash flow issues. Clearly, there's still a market out there for this, whether we want to admit it or not, whether people are discouraged because of the last couple of years. Clearly, this isn't I don't know what you want to call it. This isn't something that's just a basic fad. Other people think there's a market here, there's an opportunity, and now Basic Fun are capitalizing on that and picking up where Arcade 1-Up left off. And me, for one, I'm happy. I don't want to see recreation arcades die. This is great news. Well, I don't think anybody should get rid of your arcades. If you like what you have, don't get rid of anything. Wait to see what else is coming up. We should all have a ton of money sitting around since nothing has come out for the last 2 years. I would like to tell you that's the truth, but like, it is not the truth. I have spent money in other places. I took out a loan for a pinball machine, and yeah, I have wasted a lot of money. Early on, when I was at Arcade 1-Up, we thought about an online archive of past releases, kind of like what Ben and Jerry does with retired flavors. Yeah, that would have been a good idea. Yeah, you missed a lot of it. Addicted to Arcade 1-Up. Basically, Chris Boris, the irate gamer, was at the New York Toy Fair. He did a podcast with Basic Fun and covered everything from their arcade line. They're coming out with 5 different price points, size points for their arcades. And most importantly, coming fall 2025, they've got 5 titles right out of the gate. They're coming out with Pac-Man, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Centipede, Star Wars Return of the Jedi, and last but not least, WrestleFest. They have the WWE license and they're doing WrestleFest. No, it's not. A lot of people have done it, and unfortunately, it's obviously for me, it made me cash poor, but it is what it is. Probably not smart to take out a loan, but that's what I did. Sexy MG sent me a picture on my cell phone. It is definitely not something I'm going to want to look at. That's a really good point. Psychotic Circus of Savannah. There may be some slight alterations. It depends on what workarounds they can get. More than likely, the WWF logo is going to have to be altered to that classic retro WWE logo, where they just cut the F part off and do the two W's. So that's a good point. It's related. Geez. All right, MG, I will look at my phone. If it's not related, I'm going to be so irritated. It's a picture of a penis. He sent me a picture of a penis. I told you. That's what I brought up earlier, Milkman Classic. It seems like very convenient timing. This news comes out that a company is making a WrestleFest arcade that's going to be available to purchase fall 2025. And then we find out 2 weeks ago. Why would you say something like that, Ian? What is wrong with you? Like, are you trying to get blocked? You assume the government's helping my kids. You should never assume anything because it makes an ass out of you and me. Honestly, never assume anything and don't be ignorant. Thank you. For your information, I work. My wife works. Stop talking about my kids, you piece of shit. See, that's the question. That's the question that we really need to know. Road Warriors, that's the big one, because you think about it, and I did a video on this already. They were so instrumental in the WrestleFest game that how did you lose your wrench, MG? I didn't take your wrench away. Fix that. I didn't take away his wrench. Thank you. That is a good reason for him to lose his wrench, but I didn't lose his wrench. Ah, that's why MG changed accounts. Yeah, I think so too, Doug Wynn. I don't see them doing it without it. Yeah. So, guys, I apologize for getting mad there. As you guys all know, talking about my family, big trigger for me. What a piece of shit. Yeah. So, we're going to shift gears here now. That's everything I really wanted to say about basic fun for now. But I do want to shift gears and talk about the other topic that we're having here. This week has been interesting because a lot of people have been talking about Iconic Arcade in jeopardy because of the rumored cease and desist. Now, none of us know. I mean, obviously there's going to be some back and forth, but I mean, I will tell you the same thing I said on my video today. Could this complicate things for Iconic Arcade? Yes. Do I think it will prevent Iconic Arcade from releasing a cab? No. Whatever it is, if there is any validity to Arcade 1-Up's argument, means that Iconic Arcade are going to have to basically not do what the problem is. If it's to do with the cabinet's design, they'll redesign the cabinet. If it's something they can't change, they will work out some kind of percentage deal with Arcade 1-Up to give them royalties for whatever they're stealing. That's how this stuff works. So I've seen a lot of people post on my video today saying, I'm glad I canceled my pre-order. And, that's fine. Like, if you're concerned about it, I advise you to cancel. Like, that's fine. But, I mean, I also advise you to take every piece of information into consideration. The pre-orders are still active. They just did another sponsorship, which Arc System Works shared again today for Double Dragon with Arc System Works. That doesn't show me a company that's in the process of going belly up or shutting down their pre-orders. It tells me they're moving forward. So I don't understand how this legal stuff works. Well, I'll just have to wait and see. And even if you did pre-order, it's Lenovo. You're going to get your money back. They're not going to, this money isn't going in John D's pocket. A lot of comments like that. It's crazy. You can if you want to. If you want to support Glenn, absolutely, which we're going to talk about in a minute. So I don't want to belabor that, but obviously that information is out there about Iconic Arcade. Again, I'll bring this up just so we're clear. This is the root of all the concern on this, and this is the validity of it. When you go on Iconics Arcade's website, when you go down and click on it, the link is broken, which is probably intentionally done, that you can't go through the pre-order. You have to go to a third-party site to pre-order. So, of course, it's very possible all this is going on, but we don't know the extent of what's going on. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Like, for fuck's sakes. 100%, Eric. I don't disagree with you. If you're not a wrestling fan, yeah. So then you'll probably ask, for me with Iconic Arcade, Mike, have you pre-ordered yet? And I'll tell you the truth. I have not pre-ordered yet. When the pre-order came out for Canada, I got super excited. We get free shipping. I don't have the money right now. Truthfully, I don't have $500 sitting around that I can spend on something that's going to be coming to me in June, July, whenever it's coming out. So what I did was I reached out to John because I have him on Facebook, and I said, how long do I have to pre-order to still get the free shipping? And he said, that should be good till May or so. So when I have $500 of free cash that I don't need for something else, yes, I'm still going to pre-order. And I will be happy to show my receipt to every single person here, so then they can learn that I'm not getting a free cab. I'm not working with the company. I'm going to buy it like everybody else. And I'm still confident to pre-order despite everything that's going on. Now, I also have the benefit of that if I, wait till May and anything goes wrong, then no harm, no foul. Now, for you guys, and with Arcade 1-Up, like, there's still a lot not shown with Iconic Arcade. You haven't seen the UI. You haven't had a chance to play test it yourself. You haven't got like reviews from people or peer reviews. You're probably not in the situation where I am, where I don't want to pay $250 shipping. So you don't have to pre-order. Just wait till it comes out at retail. All this stuff is so easy. It's not complicated. Everybody needs to relax. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Well, I am waiting for my tax return. That may be when I actually do my pre-order. Yeah, I know, right? Anyways, guys, that's enough about Iconic Arcade. I want to talk about some other things now. Now, first up is GRS. So, I saw that comment earlier there. Don't buy John's product. Support, GRS. And I think you should. In fact, I want to talk about Glenn's product and tell you 100% why you should pre-order it. Just give me a second here to pull this up. And if I have any audio problems, guys, let me know. So, guys, this is the video Glenn put out. The KFU. We got a lot of really good news. Not only were we getting the 19-inch rotating screen, we're also getting the 26-inch, physical rotating screen. There's a lot of things I like about this. This could potentially be a Swiss Army knife multicade to allow us to play anything we want. I think this is an awesome product, and I think people should support it. But just because Glenn did an announcement doesn't mean it's coming out. So I want to be very clear on this. I'm going to stop sharing this for a second, because what Glenn has already said, and I think it's slipped through the cracks here, this isn't a Kickstarter, but essentially it is a Kickstarter. So the way this works is Glenn is putting a pre-order up for this. If it does not hit a specific target, it may never come out. That's the truth. Glenn is not going to fund this out of his own pocket. He doesn't have the money. So this pre-order has to hit a specific number. Now, I do have that number. And if you want to call me a piece of shit because I refuse to share it with you, I'm sorry. Glenn's my friend, and I refuse to give that information out. That's private information he shared with me. But what I will tell you is, for those people out there that say, I love Glenn, I support Glenn, I want to support Glenn, do so by actually pre-ordering this product. Do not wait until it comes out. Do not wait for reviews, because unless enough people buy it, it won't see the light of day. So I encourage you, the same way I'm going to do, put your pre-order in and actually support Glenn. That's the truth of the matter. So everybody's saying right now, buy the Build-A-Cade FU will not happen unless you actually support it. So say, for example, the Build-A-Cade FU only has 150 pre-orders. It's toast. It's not going to happen. So everybody, and I know there's tons of people out there. There's 30,000 people in Glenn's Arcade 1-Up original fan page. There's no reason this shouldn't come out. We all want to see it come out. So I encourage you, speak with your wallet. If you support Glenn, pre-order his cabinet. And I'm serious, guys. I encourage no fighting in the chat. If you don't like his product, that's fine, but let's not start a fuss here. Like, everybody can like different things. There's no reason for us to have any contempt and fighting in the community. So please knock that off, guys. I encourage you to do that. So just going back to Glenn's show, if you watch the show on Friday, what I like about Glenn is he tells it to you straight. He came out on a show and he said, guys, listen, I got some bad news. Tariffs are going to impact my cabinet as much as 20%. So unfortunately, Glenn's being hit with a 20% tariff, which is going to impact price, but Glenn is trying to do every personal thing he can to make sure this still comes in under $1,000. So, I mean, everybody's facing challenges right now. That's the truth of it. Give me his personal info, you piece of S. I don't know what you're talking about, Stringer Films, but thank you for the $2. Yeah, and going back to the Iconic Arcade, that's the truth. If you don't like Street Fighter, you're not interested in Street Fighter Alpha, there's a lot of people out there. I talk to Jamie Loken all the time, and Jamie Loken says, I'm done with fighting games. Don't buy it. No worries. Absolutely. So going back to Glenn's, like Glenn did bring up on stream, being hit with imports. I'm gonna tell you, all these other companies are gonna be hit with when I say imports, tariff charges. Iconic Arcade as well. They're selling their cab at the set price of $7.99. Was it $7.99 or $6.99 in the pre-order? $9.99 Canadian. That was pre-tariff. So they're going to be hit with additional prices too. The good thing about a pre-order is our price is locked in now. They can't come back and ask us for additional money, because if they do, we can just cancel and say no thanks. So that's another thing. I think we all agree, like, this sucks, because I know how hard Glenn works. I know how tight his margins are. Believe me, Glenn's not making money from these products. So again, I urge you, if you want to see this product see the light of day, please pre-order it. Don't jerk around with it. Don't say I support Glenn and then you wait until this comes out and maybe hits a sale. Pre-order it when the pre-order goes live. The other thing I'll just mention, I'm gonna stop sharing this in case it messes up my shit. Glenn did indicate as well, one of the reasons that the pre-order has been delayed, because remember, the pre-order was supposed to be out the end of February, was the reality with the tariffs, and it actually delayed the pre-order from going live. So keep that in mind. They're still trying to work out costs, trying to do everything he can to get you the best possible price. And, I expect the pre-order to go up in the coming weeks. And like I said, support it. Now, finally, onto the other product that we're all excited about. There was three main products before today's basic fun news kind of came out that we were really excited about. Other one was a bit of a surprise. Like, it's something that shouldn't make sense and shouldn't work, but like, this is really exciting. I'm gonna have to restart it because, again, again. Thanks, MG. MG just sent me a message to say my hoodie color is very slimming. I will tell you guys a bit of a factoid about me. I'm really fucking fat. So the last little while, I've been trying to eat better, trying to diet better. I couldn't wear this shirt. This is a 2XL. I ballooned up over 3XL the last little while. So thanks for saying this is slimming, because this shirt didn't fit me a couple of weeks ago, MG. So I greatly appreciate it. It's the pre-order's not up yet. It's a full-size arcade Trust me, you're going to want to do some research on this Psychotic Circus of Savannah. It's incredible. It's a full-size arcade built with heavy-duty MDF, the same thing that the iArcade was made out of. 19-inch rotatable monitor. And then there's another option, which is going to be much more expensive for a 26-inch Unico monitor. You guys will love it. Hey, thanks, Fretburner. I got a long way to go, but I'm trying my best. So give me a second, guys. The page crashed because my computer crashed. See if it loads this time so I can share it. Of course, the other one is the Alice Goes to Wonderland Pinball. The pre-order is going to go live. I think it's like March 11th. I think the pre-order goes live. Coming in at a very affordable price at $7.99. Kind of surprised people, especially with the tariff stuff and all that shit going on. This is really, really surprising news. They could do the price so low. $200 less than what a lot of us expected. But the same with Glenn's pre-order. There's a reality here. If they don't meet their Kickstarter goal, this may never come out. So, you've got to keep that in mind. If this is something you really want, support it. Like, there's a lot of roadblocks for them and barriers as well. One of which is pinball's a tough one, man. Like, no matter how much video, no matter how many reviews you get to see of this shit, until you actually get to physically play it for yourself, it's very hard to decide whether or not you want to invest any money in it, let alone $800. Yeah, exactly. He's awesome. I'm going to tell you, I was concerned when I saw his original work. I was like, this stuff is really dark. Like, I don't know if it's going to be fitting for a pinball machine, because I saw a lot of his work. It has like this gothic style to it, but I am very impressed. Like, pinball machines need to be bright, vibrant, and fun. They're in dark rooms already, so you need some color, but he did an awesome job on the art with this. Like, 100%. I love him. So good stuff. I know I got to stay off the SIGs. We quit and then we go back on. We quit and then we go back on. I do got to quit. I agree. So anyways, Alice Goes to Wonderland. Like we know, just like with Glenn's pre-sale, if it doesn't hit the target, it's not going to come out. Now, I know we did an interview with Jerry a couple of weeks back, and he's like, if this doesn't happen, I don't care. I'm bringing it to retail. Anyways, I don't know if that'll happen. There's no guarantees. So this is another one of these products. If you want to get it, you gotta do the Kickstarter. Otherwise, it's not going to come out. Like, that's the big difference with these last two products. These are coming from much smaller companies. Obviously, ThinkUp went out of business. Jerry's starting this company again, and he's moving forward with it. And this is a very small, Kickstarter company, or if you want to call them grassroots company. I don't know what the actual name for it is. It's a fledgling company. So there's not a lot of money behind it. Same way with Glenn. Like, these are not billion-dollar corporations releasing products that you can just wait and get at retail, wait to get at Ollie's, wait to get on sale. If you want these, you're going to have to support them. Yeah, actually, JJ, I don't drink at all. The only time I drink is if I'm traveling. Anytime I'm here with my family, I want to be nice, clean, and sober in case anything comes up. The guys I play mini golf will tell you the other night, I think I was playing mini golf. It was like 2 a.m. in the morning here, and my wife called in a panic, and she goes, my daughter's sick. She's throwing up. I always want to be available and responsible for that. Now, if I'm already out of the province or, in another country, there's not much I can do. Might as well enjoy myself. But if I'm home, I'm stone cold sober in case something happens and I need to bring my kids to the hospital. That's my rule. Yeah, I think a lot of people feel the same way. Like, I think with this, a lot of people are excited and interested, but we don't have the same background and understanding of the quality of products the same way we do as with the Build-A-Cade FU. I think with the Build-A-Cade FU, we know what Glenn's bringing out. We know what quality to expect. But with this, There's so much unknown with this. So I know they're going to be at WonderCon, and I know B's going, but it would be really nice if throughout this Kickstarter, and I don't think they have the budget for it. Obviously, they're a very small company, but they can get out there to some places and really show this thing off. It's going to help them. No drinking till you arrive at the hospital. No, you're not allowed to drink at the hospital. You're a good dad, but you're still a piece of shit. I don't disagree with that. Yeah, thank you very much, Nooner. 100%. He only drinks in Airbnbs. Stringer knows. I was drunk most of the time I was talking to him. I don't remember, Jim. That's a good comment. I know B for 100% is going, so watch B's channel. Also, I give B a hard time a lot, say I don't watch his content and stuff like that. B's a really good guy. He's a really nice guy. He makes really good, informative content. Go check out B's channel, support him. I know not only is he going to WonderCon, to see the pinball, he actually wrote me today about Iconic Arcade and the Arc System Works World Tour. That's going to California as well. So he's going to be there as well. So due to two of those things, keep an eye on B's channel, because he's going to have hands-on contact with both the Alice Goes to Wonderland pinball demo and the sponsorship cabs that Arc System Works and Iconic Arcade are making for Double Dragon. So go check them out. I know. Basic Fun should change their name to FU1UP. So anyways, that's all the stuff I wanted to say about, the products that are out there. It's funny because in January, we were all so elated. Arcade 1UP was doing nothing, and then all these other companies came out. But there's some realities behind this stuff, right? You got to take that into consideration. So, I just wanted to make sure people were aware of that. Two of these products, if you want them to come out, you really need to support them. So I ask you to do that if you like what they're making and you want to support them. So here's one I really want to talk about, and this is where I'm going to close off here today. Basic Fun should change their name to FU1UP. Now, no one's actually going to say this, and Glenn will never admit it either, but Glenn obviously has a history with Arcade 1UP. I mean, he was one of the biggest reasons that this community evolved and happened in the first place. Glenn built the fan page. Glenn was very involved with them. He would go to New York to meet with them at their corporate office. He hosted or was part of the Retro Buzz, which was their primary connection with the community originally, before Arcade 1UP broke that contract they had with them and then left and did 1UP Weekly. Plus, even after all that shit, Glenn still tried to work with them, and they ended up stealing part of his design for his Tron stick. So, obviously, Glenn has some very clear, hard feelings towards 1UP. And why he won't say it, I mean, part of his hope with the Build-A-Cade FU, that FU part is, in fact, not fun for you and me or anything like that. This product is directly an FU to Arcade 1UP. He won't say it, but it's true. Like, he's like, FU, I make a better product than you. That's what this is. And there's all kinds of people, like people saying that Iconic Arcade is trying to make a product that'll put 1UP out of business. I'm going to be 100% honest with everybody here. If anybody puts 1UP out of business, it's going to be 1UP based on their decision making. People are saying, oh, this is a heel turn. This guy's turning on Arcade 1UP. No, not at all. If Arcade 1UP came out with something cool tomorrow, I would be here telling you about it. I would be excited. I would still buy it. I don't give a shit about the name on the product, the people involved. I just want to play with fun stuff. I want to have fun stuff to be excited about. Don't care. They could be monsters. If they make something cool, I will still buy it. So the people that are going to put 1UP out of business more than likely is 1UP. Not any other cab, not another company, At Games, Glenn's FU, any of these other products. But if there is one product that Arcade 1UP should absolutely be worried about based on what we've heard here today, It's basic fun, man. If you look at it, securing the Pac-Man license, the Star Wars license, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles license, the Atari license, and then getting WrestleFest, like, we don't have any pictures, so these cabinets can be shit, can be terrible. Based on what we've seen from Basic Fun before, they're probably going to be fucking terrible. But if they are even remotely as good as Arcade 1-Up at these price points, with exciting titles, and if they're good products, that's going to be hard, man, because that is direct competition, which I don't think they can do shit about. There's monopoly laws. You can't just get mad at another company for making the same product as you, but better. So really, at the end of the day, either Arcade 1-Up is going to kill Arcade 1-Up, or maybe Basic Fun. We'll have to wait and see. 4 pictures, more information on the product. Like, there's not enough to go on right now. Like, obviously, this is just a podcast, but hearing them talk about it, it's exciting. It's exciting to hear about these lines. It's exciting to hear about these titles. This is not one cab we're hearing about in January from one company. This is a full line being released worldwide at retail in the fall. Again, is Home Arcade back? You're goddamn right it's back. Yeah, they're making countercades as well. They already talked about that. The countercade size units going to be $180, $180. So that's where you're going to be going there. 100%. 100%. They're also competition to Iconic Arcade. Competition is awesome. That's one of the biggest problems in this space. There has been no direct competition to Arcade 1-Up for the last 6 years. You know what the best thing about competition is? Iron forges iron. So if nothing else, hopefully having some serious competition doesn't kill Arcade 1-Up, but forces them to make better products, forces them to do more than the bare minimum, which is all they seem to be able to have done the last 2 years. I know. That would have been a perfect ending. I said it twice during the stream instead. Oh, people hate how I say iron, because I say it like ironing board, or I run. That's a Newfoundland thing. Iron. I earn is what I say, but it's supposed to be iron. I don't know. I might be quoting the Bible now. Yeah. Isn't it ironic? I think most importantly, what I want to leave this on, say moron, Michael B, the Game Genie, moron. Waterproof. What I want to leave this on is B Kirby, thank you so much. Michael B, you're 100% right. Basic Fun watched all the mistakes Arcade 1-Up made. They also saw all the success, and hopefully they can avoid the mistakes, capitalize on the success, and become what Arcade 1-Up either once was or what they should have been. So anyways, guys, we'll wait for more information from Basic Fun. This is fucking awesome. This is really good news. I want to see a WrestleFest. Please, dear God, let it be done right. Holy shit. Merry Christmas. Anyways, guys, everybody have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know it's Sunday. It's not what you expected. New night, same mic. Hope you enjoyed it. Find me next Sunday here too. That I think I'm going to do Sundays. The truth of the matter is, me and P-Dub share a StreamYard account, and then if he wants to do his Monday show, I can't do my Monday show through StreamYard. So there you go. Okay, I'll try to make it right this time. Is Home Arcade back? You're goddamn right it's back.